What is up, everybody, NC?
JC and
We have a brand new show for you guys, and this one is How to Book. And the very first installment is about how to book Oba Femi. And the reason why we feel the need to put out this video is because Oba Femi needs to be protected. In a day and age where they're looking for top young stars, they're looking to build up the next big draws, you need to take an opportunity when you got it, and you need to make the most out of it. And that goes for talents like Logan Paul, like Trick Williams, like Braun Breaker, and especially for a talent like Oba Femi. Because for a talent like Oba Femi to come in and beat Brock Lesnar, that's by Brock Lesnar's consent. Notice Brock
right.
Lesnar, you don't go down for too many people.
No.
He went down for Oba Femi because he likes big athletic stars. He wants to make big athletic stars. He has no problem putting other people over. And that's why I feel heading into SummerSlam, I feel that Brock Lesnar will put over Oba Femi in his last match. You saw what was happening before they even put Brock Lesnar in that situation. What was Oba Femi doing? These pointless open challenges where he just crushes random jobbers every week. No storyline, nothing. That's what Triple H does. It took Brock coming back to give him a storyline.
It really did. And like, this is why they need to protect Oba Femi, because they've gotten him over. He's got the strut, he's got the push, he's got the look, he's got Brock Lesnar's blessing. What they need to do is they need to really protect him going forward. No mid card. He cannot have 50-50 matches with mid carders. That does not happen. If you're looking to build him into a megastar, you can't have him going 50-50 against Dominic Mysterio. That can't be. You can't have him have 20-minute match. No, if he goes up against somebody like Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, Blockhead Baylor, all of them, he has to squash them early on and make it look like they're here and he's way up there. Like they gotta protect him. It's so crucially important.
And that's why this King of the Ring is really a good litmus test. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of people are tuning out as WWE has done its European tour. I mean, look at the ratings, under 2 million, on Raw. And I firmly believe that that's where the smart money is in having Oba wreck Dominic. And we know how Triple H is. Anytime one of his roster stars dares to come out and speak bad on his creative, they usually get punished. Just recently we were covering on the news that Dominic was saying that he was not too happy about his current run, didn't know if he had a spot on Clash of Italy, really felt like he was being devalued. And Triple H is the type of guy like to look at that and say, oh, so you're not grateful, huh? All right, getting buried. And maybe that's a situation. Maybe he's actually doing for once a good thing for Oba and burying somebody who he would have given a long match to. I think back before Dominic said that, I think Triple H would have booked a 25-minute competitive match between Dominic and Oba Femi that would have made no fucking sense. Because we all, as Oba fans, know that he would take a guy who barely weighs 130 pounds and just break him over his knee, like Bane. He would crush him. And I think that's what's going to happen this coming Monday. Smart money would be on that, but then again, WWE's creative is very dumb, so let's see what happens.
So one of the things that I would recommend is that what we've seen this already with TKO is that, like, if they really want something, they get it. Like, if they really want Pat McAfee in a storyline in a main WrestleMania match, they get it. I think that Oba Femi needs to become a pet project of TKO, to where they step in and say, fuck you, nose man. We want him to be our next Brock Lesnar, and you're not going to 50-50 book him. Your job is to make him the biggest star possible. That's honestly, I think, how he's gonna be made into a megastar. Because if it's up to Triple H's way, he's gonna be jobbing out to Gunther in like 2 months.
Right. And don't put him in a situation where he can get injured. That's the one thing
Right.
that really sucks is all these top young guys who we want to put stake on. Besides Oba and Trick, everybody else is getting injured like crazy. And a lot of it has to do, what a lot of wrestlers will say, a lot of the marks will say is, it's because they're not getting enough house shows. And they won't even mention that it has to do with the current style that WWE wrestlers work, which
Yep.
is a very dangerous, reckless indie style.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why. And especially when you do these long matches and you drag it out. Like back in the day, in the golden era, back in the attitude era, the matches were kept shorter. Because what they realize is, hey, these wrestlers are on the road 6 days a week. We need to keep the matches shorter. Not only that, but the pace. You need to keep the fans' attention. Keep the matches 5 to 10 minutes. That way you keep that perfect pacing. The wrestlers get their spots in. They get their shit in. And you move on to the next segment. And that way you keep a good flow going. And nowadays with Triple H, what we got is these 20 to fucking 45-minute matches on regular TV, not on pay-per-views, on regular TV just to fill up time. And the fans are saying, at least we got a fucking baller banger on SmackDown. Meanwhile, the ratings are lower than ever.
Right. That's the thing. It's like the audience has been whittled down to such a small niche audience of match marks. Like this is why we constantly go off on them. This is why I just it frustrates me to no end that you have fans out there like I'm generally a very lenient guy. Like if you have an opinion that's different than mine, whatever. The problem with it is that these fucking match marks dominate the industry. And so they, even though they whine like they never get what they want, they've gotten almost everything that they've wanted. And they don't even they're so fucking stupid they can't even see it. And they can't even see that to get what they want is going to chase a lot of people away, and that is exactly what we're seeing with Raw. There's not like even with the NBA playoffs, there are no excuses why Raw cannot be getting 3 million viewers globally. It's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. And they want it because they want real wrestling fans to watch. And those real wrestling fans are idiots like them that just want to watch long matches that mean nothing.
Like Cody said, fuck a casual.
Fuck the casuals.
He's a microcosm of what's going on in pro wrestling. I mean, right there, if the wrestlers are saying it, that means that a majority of the fan base that they want brought in is saying it. And that's why you see lower and lower attendances, less and less people watching. The fact that we had, what was it, over the last 2 weeks, a 500,000 drop worldwide of Raw, their most popular show. 500,000 people tuned the fuck out because they couldn't stand the shit fucking Meldon booking. They couldn't stand these annoying motherfucking Europeans and their stupid soccer chants every boring match. They couldn't stand the long, boring, non-story matches that were taking place. They got tired of it. It really is to the point that we were starting to fucking get tired of it on this past Raw watch along. We were like, dude, what is this? They're not even trying. No need to try. And that's why they got the ratings they did. Karma.
Exactly. Well, this is what happens when you and you notice on the European show, like where are the storylines really? It's just been nothing but matches and matches. Look what happened to TNA with their fucking company. You make your show about matches. I mean, what you may have had with TNA, a little bit of an aside, but like you may have had like a 1 week to say, oh, well, let's check in to see what's going on with TNA, and then you see the ratings just completely fall apart next week. But like we bring this up, we don't bring this up apropos of nothing. We're bringing it up to show because Triple H and these matchmark fans think a lot alike about wrestling, is that they'll look at a guy like Oba Femi and go, well, he could go 50-50. Why not? Why can't he have a 20-minute meaningless match that against some fucking mid-carder? Because the problem with it is that that's not how you build superstars. You build superstars by getting a lot of wins. Look at Goldberg. Goldberg became a star not because he was winning a lot. Now, if he had been taking a lot of losses, he wouldn't have been the star that he became. He wouldn't have been this unstoppable monster, and that's exactly what Oba Femi needs to be. Same with Brock Lesnar, is that if he was not the unstoppable monster, he would not have been a megastar. They need to do the same booking with Oba Femi. They need to make him the unstoppable monster obstacle for the babyface.
Look at Roman Reigns and
Exactly.
look how big of a draw he was when he was protected by Vince McMahon with a hot storyline like the Bloodline. That's what was bringing viewers in, was Roman being this unstoppable force that nobody could topple with the super long world title reign. And then Triple H stepped into office and he made him infallible. He made Roman Reigns another 50-50 book guy that ended up taking losses to people like fucking Bronson Reed out of all wrestlers. That's where Roman Reigns was, losing to Bronson Reed. Devalued. And it sucks too, especially a guy that did as much as he did for the company. That's why for anybody who gives a shit, oh, where's your great draw Roman now? He's getting 50-50 booked. He's being put in a position where he's not important, which is sad because that's how Triple H books. And that's why we're vouching for Oba Femi to be somebody that's protected and taken care of. Because if he's protected and taken care of, you could possibly have a next draw. Same thing goes for people like Logan Paul, Trick Williams, Braun Breaker. Protect them at all costs because they are the future of WWE. And you have to protect your investments in any company you're in, especially with young guys like these who are in good shape. What's happening to them? They're getting hurt all the fucking time. And you can't have that happen. You need to protect these people, especially since going forward, they're going to be the faces of your company. When people like Seth Rollins, Gunther, Cody Rhodes have to retire, who are you going to rely upon? You're going to rely upon these guys. Even TKO can see that shit. So that's why I would really hope in a situation like this, you build up Oba nice and solid. You have him beat Brock Lesnar, retire him at SummerSlam. And then you go from there. I wouldn't make him some legend killer. I think that's fucking stupid. No. Leave that shit to Gunther because he's fucking useless. But no, like in a situation with Oba Femi, you slowly build him up and like give him guys like Omos, like Jacob Fatu, people that are beatable, but it will at least give him a good fight on paper and almost like a battle of the monsters type situation. Have them feud for a couple months, eat up time for Elimination Chamber Money in the Bank. Have him win his big shot at Royal Rumble, eliminating his rival, getting his shot at Roman Reigns. And I think he should tackle Roman Reigns because he's on Raw. It makes all the sense in the world with the progression. I don't like the switching of the fucking brains bullshit. If a guy's on SmackDown and he's building up towards the title shot, he should be on that brand. So yeah, build him up towards Roman, have him beat Roman because Roman's kind of winded down. He's going to Hollywood anyways. And really build the fuck out of Oba. Have Oba as the guy who really takes down anybody to come his way. And I would really do your best to protect all four of these people. Put them in situations where they don't have to cross each other.
Exactly. Like that's how you have to do that going forward, is like after he beats Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, and he should. Brock Lesnar winning, I get it. But you don't need to protect Brock Lesnar. What you need to do is you need to create future megastars. Like that's the business does not need Brock Lesnar being there at the age of 50 while everyone else means nothing. No, you gotta make the future, but you also gotta sustain it. Which is why I really think that TKO needs to become a pet project of Ari Emanuel and Mark Shapiro, and they need to see Oba Femi as a top ticket seller, a top merch seller, a major act that they're behind. Because without it, Triple H is going to go back to his device and go, oh, okay, just have him lose to Gunther in a who gives a fuck match at the Saudi WrestleMania. That's the problem, is that like to protect Oba Femi, you got to get TKO needs to back him up.
I think they are. I think that they're going to. Right now, what they're letting Triple H do is just run all these shitty European shows, and then once they get back to the States, I think that's when you're going to start to see big moves happen, right before SummerSlam. It's a dull period. This is very much a dull period for pro wrestling. And AEW, they're not stepping up to grab the brass ring. MLW isn't. TNA isn't. No American company is really stepping up to grab the brass ring and take over as number two. You just have indies with promise, like JCW, and that's about it. You have nobody with good financial backing really giving TKO a challenge or run for their money. Tony don't give a fuck. He's got enough money to fucking play in his little action figure realm and give work rate classics and 45-minute matches. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. They'd rather go with the gamble of getting a 5-star match on their program than go with the gamble of getting a good storyline, because it's a lot easier to do a 5-star match. Just have two fucking idiots go in there and beat the shit out of each other for 45 minutes. It's the easiest thing in the world.
It's the easiest thing in the world, and it's something that a lot of fans have been conditioned to liking. And some people wonder why we hate it so much. And we hate it so much because, number one, it's boring, but then also it's because it's been shown to drive fans away. And if you love pro wrestling, if you actually truly love pro wrestling, and you ain't just saying it, you actually mean it, you want more people to like it too. You want millions of people to be flooding into pro wrestling. The only way that's going to happen is you have to have megastars that transcend the business, and you have to have a product that is culturally relevant, that's relevant to society. Not this fucking long match flippy flop work rate bullshit that you're seeing in WWE, where all the matches look fake, that there's no selling, and a lot of it too is a talent problem as well. Like, it's Triple H has gotten his way too much, and look what it's led to.
Well, just the fact that he can't even make good storylines for his favorites shows you how creatively bereft he is, and same thing goes for his creative team. The fact that he can't even have good storylines for Rhea Ripley, for Gunther, for Cody Rhodes, for Seth Rollins, they're all shit storylines. They're all garbage. I think my least favorite is Seth Rollins, but like they're all very, very shitty storylines for all of his favorites. And that shows you right there that he doesn't care. All that matters is winning titles and holding them and doing stupid fucking segments that fill up time in the meantime. There is... Well, It's just a race to nowhere at this point with his favorites at the top. That's all it is. Nobody's going to really succeed unless he gets out of office.
It's true. It really is. Like, but I mean, like, for like booking with Oba Femi, so like my idea is you have him beat Brock at SummerSlam. I think you have him in like a feud where he's dominating mid-card, dominates all these mid-carders, just running through them like crazy. I think you have him win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. No, for sure. But my whole thing is I want to steer away from the whole open challenge shit they were doing with Triple H. Because that shows you just like that Triple H is mailing in. I get it, dude. He's probably exhausted after Mania. But when you got a guy like Oba Femi, you got to get all hands on board, man. You got to get a solid plan going for this guy and protect him. And that's how we feel about basically the Four Horsemen The four pillars of WWE. They're Trick Williams, they're Oba Femi, they're Logan Paul, and they're Braun Breaker. Now, I know a lot of our fan base would be in a dissension with that, but I think that's a pretty solid four guys for your pillars right there. Pretty solid four pillars. Nothing like the fucking cruiserweight midgets that they got over in AEW. They're four pillars.
No. Like these are actual pillars that you can build. Like you could build Trick Williams into a megastar. You could build Oba Femi into a megastar. You can do that. They look like stars. They pass the airport test. They've got charisma, like clearly. So like these are people that you can work with. The main obstacle, the main thing getting in the way of Oba Femi becoming the biggest star possible is Triple H. It starts and ends with him. And the only way that he's going to be a megastar is if TKO puts their foot down and says, motherfucker, you are building him. Your job is to, if you cannot build him into a megastar, if you cannot make him our African Brock Lesnar, then you're fired. You need to get out.
It doesn't really feel like there's any repercussions for him. I mean, just look at the fact that the ratings have crashed more than they ever have. He's really setting records for low ratings, and they'll always have people like Nick Khan to stick up for him and vouch for him and claim that he's doing a great job. He is more protected than anybody else that I've seen in the history of entertainment. Just the stuff he's gotten away with. I don't think he's going to be replaced right away, which is sad. You'll see the ratings on Raw get down to like the 1.5, 1.4, maybe even a full mil. I think SmackDown's going to get down to NXT levels. It's going to get really, really low and inexcusable. And the fans will just, all the WWE diehards will say ratings don't matter. Oh, look at all the views they're getting on YouTube. Look at all the views they're getting on Instagram. Look at all the views they're getting on X. That's where the fans went. And they would even break down these fake charts where it's like, oh, that's where the fans are watching here now. They're not watching on cable TV. That's for boomers, you fucking retard. You already know the conversations.
Netflix is for boomers.
You already know the conversations you're going to get into with these types of people when wrestling fully crashes. We're seeing right now a glimpse of it, but when wrestling fully starts crashing, it's going to be because of Triple H and his terrible booking. And the reason why I say that is because with WWE, they've always been the biggest leader in town. And people, all these other companies, they look at WWE as how to book their company. A recipe for success, if you will. That's why you have all of these indie companies booking like the same. They're all trying to be WWE light. Impact tried to be that back in the day, and they did okay, at least when they had Dixie Carter and Vince Russo, but, certainly thereafter it went to Gooftown. It went to shit, and it hasn't recovered. And a lot of companies, they tried to follow the status quo. Oh, so you guys want bangers? You want longer matches? Now all companies offer bangers and longer matches. Barely any companies offer you a story alternative, something even close to what you got in the Attitude Era. You get a couple glimpses of it over in JCW, but for the most part, you look at this wrestling landscape, we watched everything, man. Every single company out there, and they all follow the same formula. Yep. Give the fans very physical matches that go on for at least 20 minutes to 45 minutes and have no real consequences at all. Just wrestler A and wrestler B have a great athletic contest where they kick out of each other's finishers multiple times in signature moves, completely making them look like shit. They act like they're fucking like Vitramite superheroes fighting on the moon or some bullshit, and the fight has to go on for like nearly a fucking hour. When in real fights last like less than 5 minutes most of the time. You watch UFC and you're like, this is not going on a fucking full 25 unless it's like the top of the guys at the top fighting for a title. Usually most of these fights, they end within 5 minutes, less. A real fight does not last long. Get these fake fights, they last forever. Like the fans want, fight forever. They get what they want.
The fans get what they want, but or not. I would say the niche vocal minority of fans get what they want, but they end up hurting the product overall in the long run. And like the problem with it is that you could book in your head like the greatest storyline for Oba Femi. If he's not protected, it doesn't matter.
Well, that's why we're really trying to focus on this with how to book Oba Femi, is that we really feel that it's important. The protection of the youth of WWE, of the next top guys, is more important now than ever since wrestling is crashing. It's the only real upheaval. Is like, let's say you get somebody who's pro TKO. This is all a hypothetical situation, mind you. But like, let's say at SummerSlam, Rock comes back. He brings Team TKO with him. Brian Gewirtz, his guys, really establishes a new creative direction in the back and in storylines. And then on top of that, starts pushing the right guys, like Oba Femi, like Logan Paul, like Trick Williams, like Braun Breaker. Top females that we've been talking about too. Starts pushing all of them and gets in a situation where really youth starts prevailing over all these old fucks. And you start to see people like Seth Rollins getting priced out, Becky Lynch get priced out. All these old timers that have already had their time at the top getting priced out and retiring or going to AEW, going to TNA, going wherever the fuck they want, Hollywood, whatever. But maybe that could be a potential future, you know? It's something that I think is, I've always been optimistic about the future of WWE because Triple H is not permanent, never will be, not even with the contract signing in office. They're going to keep him around for a little bit in 2026. No, even when it fucking all falls down, they'll still keep him around, but you will see more changes to creative. You will see more changes to how they go about booking things. I mean, that's the one reason why we have watched so much Raw lately, or at least did for a while before the European tour, is because they were actually trying on these shows. And we're like, okay, at least we can stay entertained and goof on it, you know? And it got to European shows and they completely mailed it in. It's like watching a TNA show, but with a bigger budget. It sucks.
It really does, dude. And that's the problem is like, it's going to take a different creative team. It's honestly, it's probably going to take different ownership if we're being real.
Yeah. It could. Yeah. I mean, but that's why I'm saying if Mark and Ari get hands-on enough where they can get maybe somebody like The Rock or even Brian Gewirtz into a position of power and quietly unseat Triple H to where it doesn't cause ripples, I think that could be a very beneficial situation. You definitely need a change in writing. That's the biggest thing about these shows is like we saw them try for a little bit and then completely mail it in. Maybe they were going full cylinders after Mania and then just crashed. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. But I feel like they're really mailing it in for Europe. Like, they don't even give a shit. It's just like, hey, we know that these Europeans are low IQ matchmark fucking dorks. Just give them this fucking easy product where you just have literally every fucking Raw is it feels like it's filmed over in Mexico.
Yeah, we're talking about the Euros, Marks. Like if you're one of our fans from Europe, like you got cool. Good common sense. You're cool with us. We're talking about the Euros, dude. We're the ones that go there, like in the French shows, and they start with the fucking Sami Zayn chant. Oh god, that's who we're talking about. Like that's who we're talking about.
Even just the overwhelming love of luchadors. Like, that's the thing. It's like Raw always had an emphasis a little bit on luchadors after Mania. I get that, you know. But it went into overdrive when they went over to Europe because they were doing like the Grande Americano feud versus the other one. They had that feud going on. They even had like the Creed brothers under masks. They had, Pete Dunne and Tyler Baby underneath masks. You got fucking Dragon Lee. You got Penta defending every single fucking Raw. You got Dominic Mysterio and his fucking douchebag bullshit. You got Rey Mysterio popping up. And I don't mind Rey, but you know, it's like when you take all of it into account, you're like, bro, this is more luchadors than fucking Nitro back in the day. What the hell is this?
It's over the top, dude. It's ridiculous how like maybe they're thinking that like because like the Hispanic audience is growing in America or the demographic is growing in America that they should like dig deeper into the fucking, you know, the Mexico thing with lucha. I get it, but at the end of the day, like if the characters are boring, the characters are boring. You know, like that's the thing is like they're a lot of Hispanic people in America, they're Americanized. They're not, they don't have the same cultural respect of lucha that the people living in Mexico do. It's different. It's a different attitude.
Well, not only that, but you take people like Penta, who once had a character in Lucha Underground and was great as a demonic villain. He was basically a demon-possessed luchador. And they stripped him away and they made him this fucking fake baby-face dork who does Michael Jackson walks and rips off La Parka. I don't want to see this shit. They stripped the life away from him. And I feel that's what WWE Creative does to a lot of these luchadors that they once did have characters. Who knows? Maybe Dragon Lee was the most charismatic guy over in Mexico at one time. I highly doubt it. But it sucks to see Rey Mysterio do creative shit before, do cool shit, especially with the Rascals. To even see Penta, what he did over in Lucha Underground. I mean, to see what God, who is that one? Santos Escobar, what he did in Lucha Underground. A lot of these luchadors have shown that they have had characters before and have had good storylines. Even Ricochet under a mask, managed by Conan. Great character in Lucha Underground because he didn't talk.
Prince Puma or something like that.
Prince Puma, exactly. Yeah. It's amazing what Lucha Underground was able to do for Lucha, at least for one season. Now, granted, it became a goofball show, but it took that idea and gave it life behind it, gave it a story, tied in something to each of the characters. It got very cinematic, you know, and I just wish something like that could happen for modern day luchadors instead of it being portrayed as a sport. When we portray like Mexican wrestling as a sport, yeah, Dave Meltzer fucking loves that shit. Well, look at the views.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. It's like, you can't treat it like a sport. Like I remember like Roddy Piper cutting a promo was like, I had this idea to make wrestling like a sport. I'm like, yeah, New Japan did that and no one cared. That's
Yeah.
the problem, is that no one believes that wrestling is a sport. They look at it as like fucking Cirque du Soleil. That's how they look at it. They look at it as a fucking, stuntman act, and not some fucking, like a legit sport like like fighting or like boxing or anything like that. It's the respect is not there. So because it's not there, you can't make it about you can't treat it like a sport and get the respect back. The only way you're going to get any kind of respect back is you got to have characters and storylines that have mass appeal.
Your regular sports watching, beer drinking man,
No,
they look at it like Disney on Ice. They
Right.
do not respect pro wrestling. And that's what you have to understand, is that's why you watch that fake shit. Go, 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 go.
Right.
And that's what it mostly comes down to, man, is that they don't look at it from the same perspective. Like, we look at pro wrestling like when it is truly on fire is the best form of entertainment out there. It is the most creative outlet. It's a human it's a living cartoon when it really is on fire and firing all cylinders. Like, that's why when Triple H says WWE's firing on all cylinders, why are the ratings lower than ever? Why are you barely packing up 5,000 seat arenas, struggling with that? Like, why is that the case? I feel like the gaslighting is incredible with WWE, and there's so many low IQ, moronic fans that just eat it up with a big old spoon. They love any bullshit they're told online and believe it like gospel. Wrestling fans are wrestling fans are some of the most gullible people out there. We're very lucky to have an intelligent fan base.
Yes.
But you look at most of wrestling in the IWC, and you're dealing with some Forrest Gump motherfuckers, like some real Mensa failures. Just saying.
I mean, well, and that's the thing. It's like we were even showing on Raw this past week. Boom, WWE's in a boom era, and then we literally put a picture on our Raw watch along, and it showed like half the arena was like tarped off.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is like when we were watching it live, we're like, this looks like shit. Like, this looks like a little rinky-dink fucking local arena, like a little fucking kids hockey arena. That's what it looked like. Like,
it was a tiny arena.
Yeah, like in France, you think France, they're going to be booking one of their fucking 10K, 15K, maybe even a 20K. Now, dude, this literally looked like a kids hockey arena. It looked like shit. It looked like honestly TNA could book a bigger arena. Just saying.
Like, no joke, dude. They probably could have, like, I don't know, maybe sold like what, 10% less on a good night for TNA, but for WWE, we've had it jammed up our ass for the past 3 years by these veteran wrestlers that want back in the business. That WWE's in a boom era. They're struggling to get 2 million viewers. Barely getting 2 million viewers on Netflix is not a boom era. WWE having to tarp off almost half the arena in France when they almost never go there is not the sign of a boom era. WWE having to mark down ticket prices 25% for WrestleMania 42 is not the sign of a boom era.
Well, not only that, but they're at a point where eventually they will lose out on all the stars they have. All the stars they have at the top are very dated. I mean, Roman Reigns has expressed many times he plans on going to Hollywood, so his time is numbered. John Cena just retired. Brock Lesnar's going to retire here at SummerSlam. Cody Rhodes, I think he's maybe got 3 to 4 years left and he's done. Gunther's about the same. Seth Rollins, maybe 1 to 2. A lot of these guys, the injuries are stacking up. The road wear is stacking up, and I don't see them having the longevity that they think that they're going to have. Maybe backstage as some sort of producer or creative angle, which I would hate and I would think would suck. But that's what, if Triple H is still in power, he will do his best to make sure that these guys, his favorites, still have jobs, which is disgusting, But I see it being a situation where TKO, they're going to eventually step in and protect their investment. They have to. It's a responsibility for them. And yes, you're absolutely right. They have been. And that's why for all these fucking retards online, that what do they all say? They all preach to the choir and say the same damn thing. Oh. TKO is ruining WWE. Triple H is a taco bucko. I think Triple H will take over TKO. Gay.
All the time, dude. All these troglodytes, these mental failures are like, they're all that way, man. All of them, it's like that Triple H won the company, TKO needs to mind their own business. Yeah, because like he was doing such a great job beforehand. Like there's a reason why ticket sales are struggling right now for WWE, and it ain't TKO. Now the ticket prices are hurting. Don't get me wrong, but it's also the creative.
Well, that's why we put so much emphasis on steering this product away from the modern fans. And if you have to offend them with something controversial, maybe if it could cost you a sponsor, who gives a shit? Do it. I look at this point, do all you can to alienate all these leftist weirdo fans that are low IQ. Get rid of them. Not only, for one, not only do they not have any good ideas, but two, a lot of these motherfuckers are broke and have no money, so they can't support your company. All they can do is shit on it on social media and hope you fucking feed their ego because they have 20K followers and they're very influential. Not really, but hey, it's a good fucking it's a good hologram to put on.
Yeah, they've been to the press conferences, therefore they think they're big time. Like, this is the problem, is that you have these fucking assholes, these gatekeeping jerks, don't realize how much damage that, like, you need people talking about wrestling. There's a reason why millions of people tuned in during the Attitude Era, and it's because it was controversial. It was outrageous. There was a reason. There were things to talk about. There was a reason to watch. Now there's no reason to watch. There's nothing controversial. There's nothing really to talk about other than, oh, did you see Blockhead Baylor had a match against Penta and it went 25 minutes. People said it was a banger. Like no wonder. There's no wonder why the ratings are what they are. Like, you got, like, I'm sorry, like, in order to get wrestling to where it needs to be, you got to offend some people. You got to be outrageous.
And dude, look at your timeline. What are all these dirt sheets reporting on? The stupidest fucking shit. Right. Bailey and Io Sky got sorbets over at a beach bar and they're eating them. Cool. Oh, look, Bailey hung out with Chris Statlander. That's fantastic. Oh, look, Cody Rhodes is holding up a t-shirt with one of his fans. So cool. Oh, look, did you know that Gunther likes lasagna? No way. Stupid fucking bullshit. That just, I'm like, dude, this is news nowadays. And that's why I have to really
talk about.
I have to sift through all this shit. There is so much fucking shit that these dirt sheets put out just to fill up time. And that's why we really are putting such an emphasis on Oba Femi being at the top. Because here's the thing, is that storylines, they're not going to automatically improve overnight. But what has been proven to go along with our video marketability and Wrestling Matters is when you put certain figures at the top of companies, you notice an increase in the ratings. Perfect proof of that would be AEW. As soon as they got Darby Allin, got the title off of him and put it back onto MJF, they were getting ratings that were in the higher 600s and even the 700s again. They hadn't done that since MJF was champion during, April and May. So, like, here they were. They're like, okay, put the title back on MJF, you get a viewer boost. And then even we showed proof, like, what was going on with SmackDown. SmackDown was getting at least 1.5, 1.7s with Drew McIntyre as champion and Randy Orton chasing the title against Cody. They were getting decent ratings. The minute that you took any threat of Cody Rhodes losing the title out, the ratings fucking crashed because nobody cares about Cody Rhodes. He has been shoved down your throat for so long. He basically has no obstacle. That's a big reason why people tune out of SmackDown is it's banger matches, Cody with no obstacle, and a rip-off bloodline. Who gives a shit? I assure you got Toxic Influence. I'm not going to tune in to watch them.
No.
What, their 15-minute squash match, and then a 3-hour shitty show on top of that for what, 2 hours and 45 minutes? Fuck that. I'll just go watch the YouTube clip.
I mean, seriously, and that's the problem, is that, like, there's no, it's by saying that it's not must see. I think it needs a little bit more context, because it's easy to say, oh, it's just not must see. No, there's like literally nothing to talk about. There's nothing that you could really talk about other than they had a great match, or they didn't have a great match, or this person, or Sol Ruka botched again. That's the problem. Is like when we're doing the news, like, it's tough to find things to talk about, even to make the thumbnail, because, like, what the fuck do we base it on? Like, what's relevant in happening in wrestling? I'm going to be real. Like, the only thing relevant last week to happen in wrestling was the WWE flag on their headquarters burning.
Pretty much.
That was it. That was it.
I agree, man. And that's the thing, too, is, like, we're doing the best we can with these dull news weeks. And Triple H, he's killing the business and killing the interest of it on a rapid pace. Like, right now, you got to look at it like wrestling has turbo cancer because of Triple H's terrible booking. And like we said, it's a trickle-down effect because everybody looks up to Triple H. A lot of these shitty bookers, these indie bookers, top-level indie bookers, look up to Triple H.
Hunter Johnston.
And they want to book like him because they think he's a booking genius when he's a fucking idiot. So they all book like him, and because they all book like him, their companies are fucking losing viewers left and right. There's a reason why TNA hovers around 200,000, which is absolutely pathetic. There's a reason why NXT, which Triple H helps book, is usually around 500K. There's a reason why SmackDown's dropping at a rapid rate, while Raw rapidly dropped. 500,000 people in a week is fucking terrible. That's astronomically bad, and not enough people are really pointing it out.
And the retarded argument's going to be, it's because they don't have star power. I'm like, look at what happened when Roman Reigns came back. He was bumping up the ratings. What happened?
No storyline. Shitty storyline with Jacob Fatu. They ruined him. They ruined Jacob Fatu. And then a lot of people, too, a lot of these dumbass fans are going to be like, can you imagine when Punk comes back? He's going to bring the ratings back up, guys.
Please.
That's if Punk comes back. I mean, a lot of people are talking right now. Some weird rumors are going around. Some about
I don't buy them, but yeah.
I don't buy them. But the weird rumors that we've heard is that he's having problems with AJ Lee and the fact that she, left her contract and doesn't want to come back. That was one rumor, which I don't believe. Another rumor brought about was something happened backstage with him and Humberto Carrillo. I don't know what was further expanded upon that, but that was another rumor. The rumor that we personally believe, or at least I believe, is that WrestleMania weekend, after he lost to Roman Reigns, he was involved in 2 altercations with fans. And I think the first one, they were able to slap on the wrist and be like, okay, it's a one-time thing, we'll let you go. But then the other one surfaced through TMZ, who made a big deal about it. And they're like, dude, we got to suspend you. We wouldn't be looking professional to our stockholders if we didn't suspend you after this. And notice he did everything he could to keep himself on camera. He even showed up at that Ronda Rousey event, which is a big no-no because it's a competitor. Keep in mind, it's a competitor to TKO. There's a reason why Jake Paul hasn't been allowed to come in and work with Logan Paul yet. It's because he owns his own brand, is in bed with Netflix. Dana White hates his ass. So he's like, nah, you're not working with UFC or WWE.
Hmm? Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Like a lot of people, I think we're really the only people to talk about it. I mean, maybe a few others, but like I know for sure that we're one of the few. About Absolutely. The fact that, like, you got to look at that. It's like CM Punk went to the competitor brand. Like, TKO owns UFC. Yeah. MVP is like a legit, they're proving to be a legit promotion with legit money behind them, and they're on a legit platform on Netflix. Like, that's actual competition. That's like AEW, when they first came around, WWE treated them like competition. They were FTR. They paid them like $500,000.
Yeah. No, they paid him good money. Yeah, that's the thing, is AEW was willing to pay good money to anybody coming over. Same thing with like Malachi Black. Mm-hmm. A lot of these dudes, Daniel Bryan got paid really good. Punk got paid really good. A lot of former WWE guys got paid.
And people in WWE.
Yeah, a lot of people got paid very well off of AEW. And that's good, man, because competition, that's the thing. It's like we don't want to make it seem like we're not for competition. We just want these bookers to get their shit together, because we want there to be an MLW, an NWA, a TNA. We want there to be all these different competitors out there. We just want to make it so that their product brings in more people, because we notice that people are dropping off as the months go on. As the months go on, we're watching wrestling die at an incredibly rapid pace, and we want to save it. That's why we're advocating for guys like Oba Femi, because at least if you don't have the storyline, it's been shown if you move the right person in the right position, they can at least give you 300K to 500K of a bump, especially if you play them the right way. That's what it's because we're not counting on immediate good storytelling, but what you can do is move the right people in the right positions to get in eyeballs. And having a champion who's extremely marketable, passes the airport test like Oba Femi, is a way to go. Just saying.
It is the way to go, and you got to build the future at some point, because look at the roster. Brock Lesnar's 49; he's almost 50. CM Punk is almost 48.
He's retiring, and that's what I said. Is like all the top guys that are retiring are on their way out. So you really need to replace right now. Like literally this year is when we need to start seeing all these guys come up. Otherwise, it's just going to be a perpetual fall in the ratings. There's nothing that can stop that. So,
and that's the thing too, is like we were talking about, is like the fall in the ratings is going to be it's going to drop quick. So it's like, honestly, like WWE dropping out to 2 million doesn't surprise me.
No, it's in fact what we predicted. It's just happening at a rapid pace. I thought it was going to happen more towards the end of the year, and here it is happening now. So this is all because they don't want to make marketable stars. It's all because Triple H wants to run to the ground. So that's why we brought this series to you, How to Book. We'll be bringing it a lot more often, a lot of other stars that we want to help out. So, yeah, NC.
JCN.
Peace out.